let's dive into what you need to know to overcome rivals and vanquish ruinous monsters in the Our Brilliant Ruin role-playing game. First, let's quickly go over NPC statistics. Remember, the Game Master never rolls dice. Instead, each NPC has a rating, usually from 1 to 5. They typically have a number of advantages equal to their rating and have vitality and distress boxes equal to double their rating. You can find a list of all advantages and their effects in the core rulebook. When attacking a foe with physical violence, a character will make a test like usual. You can find a link to our Making a Test video in the description below. The resulting brills is how much vitality damage the target suffers. Certain advantages may provide resistance to damage, and all ruin monstrosities are vulnerable to fire and alcohol, taking extra effects from either source as outlined in the book. If a player character is the target of an attack, the NPC deals static damage equal to its rating. However, the player gets a chance to defend using a skill of their choice. Unlike other tests, this only uses a skill trait, but otherwise a dice pool is rolled as normal. The number of brills is the amount of damage prevented. For example, you are fighting a ruined wolf and make your test with ingenuity and observe as you try to light the creature ablaze with a nearby lantern. Rolling 2 brills, you inflict 2 vitality damage and an additional 1 damage for making use of fire, the creature's weakness. That's a total of 3 vitality damage. Nice. The wolf strikes back, ready to deal 2 vitality damage per its rating. As defense, you choose physicality, ready to throw the wolf to the side before its snarling jaws can close around you. With 1 brill, you prevent 1 vitality damage, so you take 1 vitality damage total. But not all violence is fisticuffs. Sometimes a verbal lashing is in order. In social conflict, test resolution is the same, except with distress damage as the outcome instead of vitality damage, and defending with personality instead of skills. When an NPC drops to 0 vitality or distress, they are defeated, whatever that might mean at the Game Master's discretion. If a player character drops to 0 vitality, they are critically injured. They can't resist conflicts or take actions that involve tests. If they do take an action that doesn't require a test, such as crawling to the other side of a room, it occurs at the end of any turn sequencing. Worst of all, the player character can be killed at the discretion of anyone who can interact with them without restraint. Be careful. If a player character drops to 0 distress, they are critically distressed, which may represent exhaustion, loss of willpower, or other severe emotional turmoil. They can't take actions that involve tests, but can still resist physical violence and cannot be outright killed like with critical injury. Recovering vitality is difficult and requires time in a place of peace and quiet. Player characters recover 1 vitality at the start of each session or other time frame the Game Master dictates, and recover 1 distress at the start of each scene. However, some enemies may impose long-term conditions that hamper or stop these recoveries, so be wary. And that's how to resolve conflict in Our Brilliant Ruin. Remember, make a test, check for brills, deal damage, and defend with a skill or personality trait accordingly. Now get out there and show them what you're made of. Check the description for a link to the core rulebook, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Our Brilliant Ruin content.